Welcome back to Rails Minute, our effort to bring you short videos where you can find out more about what is happening with Rails. Hi everyone, I'm Dan Bostrom, Rails Member Engagement Manager, and I'm here with Monica Harris, Rails Interim Executive Director. Monica, hello.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you. Within the past year, Rails has been made aware of existing gap of data pertaining to school libraries, particularly in Illinois. So Monica, can you tell us more about what Rails is trying to do to bridge that gap?
Yeah, so let me give you a little bit of background in that we were contacted by Keith Curry-Lance, who's working with the SLIDE project, because he was concerned about the lack of data about school libraries and school library workers in Illinois. And in fact, the lack of data around Illinois made up about half of the missing data that the SLIDE project had, which is really unbelievable. So in our conversations that we had with ISLE, we really noted that this was something that was a huge need in Illinois, but we didn't know exactly how to solve it. So starting in January 2022, Rails decided to hire a person who was specifically focused on school data. And since then, that person has become part of the Rails staff, and that's Jeanette Durucki, who is a data research analyst. And what she does as part of the school data project is really analyzes a lot of existing data from several different sources and compiles it into one source that can be used by projects like the SLIDE project to really analyze what's happening in school libraries in Illinois. I know that there have been some concerns from some school librarians that this project is in some way going to pinpoint some of the things that are happening, or they're looking to catch someone doing something that they're not supposed to do, and it's not that at all. What we really want to do is to be able to have information that is available and that is something that we can share for advocacy and to really show people where the need is for school data and for certified school librarians to make sure that those things are happening in our state and that our students across the state are getting equitable resources, because our school librarians are so important as educational opportunities for the students that we have here in Illinois.
Yeah.
So the school data project, if you want to learn more about it, you can actually do it from our Data in Libraries page that's on the Rails website. There's data visualizations, there's a lot of things that you can see right now. And I would also say to the audience, if you're watching today and this sounds interesting to you, we do have a group that we're pulling together of people who are helping us to mold and evaluate our data dashboard on school library data, and there's an interest form on our website. So if this sounds good and you're a school librarian who wants to be involved, just go ahead and sign up on that interest form, and we would love to have you.
Yeah, and thank you to Jeanette and everyone who's making this information available and accessible. It's a really great project.
Absolutely.
And while we're on the topic of school libraries, we should mention our school library partnerships.
Yeah.
So can you give an update on this relationships and what's going on?
Yeah, so we have been working really hard with a lot of the other groups in Illinois who are really focused on libraries in Illinois, but specifically on school libraries and school library workers, and really trying to make sure that we all understand and that we know what we're all doing when it comes to school libraries. So we have a monthly meeting that started a few years back, and while it started with Rails and ISLE, it soon began to grow to include Heartland, which is our library, our sister library system to the south. And then since then, that monthly partnership has grown to include representatives from the Illinois Library Association, from the Illinois State Library, from Chicago Public Schools. And so we're really excited to be able to bring a group of leadership together to talk about what we're doing and to make sure that we are really putting our heads together and how we can work together on issues and that we're not duplicating effort. I think it's one of these really great examples we have of how we work together in Illinois to be able to combine resources and really do things in the best way possible. So that group, while we meet monthly, we discuss our school data project every single month. We also discuss a lot that's happening in terms of materials challenges in Illinois. We talk about legislative issues in Illinois, and then we also talk about possibilities for continuing education and just how to increase resource sharing for school librarians throughout Illinois. So it's a great group, and if this or the school library data project is interesting to you at all, I just want to encourage you that we have a Sparks podcast coming out where we get to talk to Carolyn Kinsella, who is the executive secretary of ISLE, where she'll talk a lot about the partnership. And then we also have Jeanette on to talk about the school data project, and she will give a lot of really great examples about what that school data project is finding out.
Great, yeah. And there's a theme in this episode that maybe you're finding out about is working together for the larger good, right?
Absolutely.
Is creating more partnerships, being a better partner for institutions around Illinois. And you've recently met with our sibling system, the Illinois Heartland Library System.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about those meetings?
Yeah, I had a really great meeting in December. So I went down to Champaign, and then I met with the executive director over at Heartland, who is Leslie Bednar, and I met also with Ellen Poppet, who is their deputy director there. And we had a really good afternoon, just really talking about the things that our systems were working on, and then talking about ways that we could continue to collaborate and work together. We are actually looking at a lot of projects that we can work on together in the next year, including getting a big portion of our staffs together for one meeting, hopefully this spring. So I'm looking forward to that. And in addition to that, a lot of our individual specialized staff are starting to meet more often together just to talk about what they're doing and figure out how we can help one another and share information on some really specialized services. So our delivery leads met together. Some of our administrative services like finance and human resources have been meeting more regularly. And then, of course, Leah Gregory, who is the school library liaison for Heartland, has been working really closely with Jeanette on a lot of these projects. So we've been really happy to have that collaboration, and I think, it gets a lot better the more that you can help each other. So we're really excited.
Yeah, these relationships are great for everybody in the state of Illinois,
Absolutely.
right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Finally, it's a new year. Happy 2023.
Yes!
Happy 2023.
Thank you, Dan.
This is our first episode since 2023. Can you talk about the special plans, things that are happening in 2023 for Rails?
Well, we have so many exciting plans for 2023, but I'll just share a few of them today. So the most exciting thing probably is that we are going to get a new executive director here at Rails. And so we should be hearing more about that this winter, so stay tuned. There should be more announcements coming from that in the next month or so. We also know that we are getting a new Rails website, and that's coming in early March. We're really excited to show off what we have planned, and we think that you all will love to see what is there and available for you. Lots of improvements there as well. And then one more thing of interest I just wanted to share is that as part of our strategic planning process, we talked to a lot of members about Rails and the things that they were looking for at Rails. And one of the things that we heard from some members is that they really felt like there's a focus on certain types of libraries as opposed to, their own type of library. And we wanted to find out more about that and figure out how we can better address the needs of every single type of library that we serve. And so Jeanette, who we've talked about a lot today, Jeanette is helping us with a service inequity study. So what we're doing is talking to individual types of libraries that expressed during our strategic planning process that they would like to see more that's specifically for them. Once that project is really moving forward and going beyond our initial set of interviews, we're going to set up some focus groups to talk more and then come up with a plan for how we can address some of these things. And we're calling this our service inequity study. So I'm excited to share more with you and with the board as that gets moving forward.
That's great. That's so much stuff, and you are extremely busy, and so is the rest of the staff, and so it's exciting to hear what's happening in 2023. So just as a reminder, as always, if you can submit questions or topic ideas in the comments below of this video, or send an email to the Rails communications team. It's communications@railslibraries.info. Thank you, Monica.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And thank you for tuning in. We will see you next time.